Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Well, it's an opportunity for me to share with you some new video in regards to some of the questions that I receive often about how to select the best girlfriend. So here we go. I thought we'd discuss it together and hope that would be something of value to you. And pay attention, otherwise you will miss the point. So, 5 most important points to select the best girlfriend. All right, number 1, things that you have to watch for, things you have to be focused on. Number 1, her availability and attention and a smile upon you is not an evidence to her qualification to be the right match for you. So we heterosexual male, we seem to be infatuated and be blindsided and convinced that this is the right choice as long as the woman pays attention to you and gives you a smile, which that naturally, due to your programming, if you're a heterosexual male, that makes you feel like, okay, then she's got everything I want because there was a smile in there. So, but she might be interested in what you can do for her, not necessarily who you are. So you got to focus on if her attention is to you or to what you can do for her, because, or is it because with you would help her to realize the image that she has created of herself and that has been hoping to create that for herself, and is an interaction with you is what brings that image for her into life, and she's interested to interact with people with that image, but she can't create that image that she has of herself in her own mind on her own. You know how it is that some people, now we're talking about one kind of relationship, you guys switch it around to the kind of relationship that you're into. I'm talking about the heterosexual male and a heterosexual female, and then you switch it around to see what makes sense to the type of relationship that you have. It would be easier for me to deliver, otherwise it will be constantly different tangents and it would be difficult to deliver. So in this case that we're talking about, you know, some people, now men or women, but people in general, whatever their gender is, but we're talking about this particular one, some women are not focused on their own capabilities, on the fact that they are perfectly capable of making a wonderful career by education, by advancing themselves, developing themselves, and learning things and having a good career and creating that lifestyle and that image that they wish to have and interact with people on their own. And instead they're looking for a shortcut that, you know, I'm entitled to it because I'm this or I'm that or I'm beautiful or this and that. So therefore I want it to be ready for me. I'm smart. I don't have to do it myself. I'll have somebody do it for me. So in that way, you got to be aware what the motivation of that woman is to want to be in a relationship with you, and if the motivation that you have and the motivation that she has in being in a relationship is compatible or not. Are you going into a relationship for something other than getting to know her and building a life? Is she coming into the relationship for other reasons than wanting to get to know you and build a life? These are the things that you got to focus and discuss it or figure it out together, or from each other's behavior, interaction with each other, to know if that person is a suitable match for you, or it's basically you're following your instinct, which we'll talk about a little later. So, number two most important points to select a best girlfriend is when you gotten to know some candidate, some girl, and you have an opportunity to text her, she's given you her phone number or whatever, and you text her. So in that scenario, do not text your prospect anymore if she does not respond to your text within 60 minutes on a work day. And within 30 minutes, if it's a weekend. Unless she would have a reasonable response, or she will have a reasonable explanation that helps you understand why she could not respond to you sooner. And that is between you and her. And if it's reasonable and acceptable, then that's great. You can have a certain kind of an agreement that within this time, I don't want to wait, or I don't want to feel that I'm neglected, all that. You can talk it over. Number 3, most important points to select the best girlfriend. Number 3 is do not approach your partner to be with the need to fulfill your desire for pleasure. If you do, you will miss things about her that you're not supposed to miss. If you are trying to be in a relationship with a woman, you got to understand, what does that mean? That means you're trying to be in the relationship with this woman's personality, who this woman is, not how she looks like. Because that how she looks like as a heterosexual male, it's programmed in your genes. You're following and adhering to your program. That doesn't have anything to do with how she thinks and what her mentality or compatibility is. You're simply following your program for procreation. That's not enough for a healthy relationship. Not in this day and age. The reason you want to have a girlfriend or a wife in this day and age is different than when it was 50,000 years ago. At that time, women meant something different than her capabilities are and what her value is today. Then it was all other kind of reasons. I don't know, warmth in the winter, working together in summer to build something, 2 people helping to build something. Things were tough, so the numbers were important. But now, woman is a lot more than what she was 50,000 years ago, and she should be treated and respected for that. Therefore, you should also expect more from the woman of today, because she is much more educated, much more capable, much wiser, much smarter, and therefore much more advanced. Therefore, your expectations should be far more than just her aesthetics is good, therefore she's qualified. What is she qualified for? What are you qualified for? You're a male. Are you qualified to provide for her, to be there when she needs you, console with her, exchange in positive manners together and all that? That's what's important, not just the fact that you're a male and she's a female. Well, that's good for 50,000 years ago. But today, you got to be focusing on not missing the things that you shouldn't be missing, as we just talked about. So if you're focused on fulfilling your desire for pleasure, then you're going to miss lots of things that you should be missing. For example, heterosexual male are so hung up on what we are programmed to pursue, which is pursuing a female, that in the name of pleasure and pursuing the mountaintop, you end up give so many credentials to the candidate when she does not qualify for any of them in a million years. But we are only focused on the mountaintop, meaning being the idea of being in a relationship with. So if you're focused on the idea of being in a relationship with her, then that is why you give all these credentials that she is not qualified for her, because to you, that's all really matters at that point. Because to you, you're willing to accept all the things that she's not and treat her like she is, because that's what you want her to be in your mind, to fluff your own ego. So these are other things that you should protect yourself and her from your ego. So to you, you have accepted that she's a place of worship. Then she has, therefore, everything that you could ever want in a woman. because you're only focused on the programming that you have, which is pursue a female. Now, this is very dangerous and careless thinking, as once you have eventually climbed up the summit, meaning you're in a relationship with her, you will begin to see the complete view of the landscape, which is her personality and characteristics, because now you have already advanced your relationship with her and you guys have been intimate, and then the infatuation is settled down a little bit, and now you're focusing on the actuality of her, the stuff that you missed, the personality and all these things, the compatibility and all that. Because then, when you have already reached the summit, the relationship, you will have the complete view of the landscape, which is her personality and characteristics, with clarity and 20/20 vision. Because until then, until you regain your 20/20 vision and you're not infatuated and blindsided because of the excitements of, you know, the whole relationship and intimacy and all that, you're oblivious. You're oblivious to what you can see and consider, which will be a bit too late if you do not notice what you should be noticing when you should be noticing. It'll be a bit too late to quickly remedy the relationship and back out of it. Because now, especially now that you have tasted the forbidden fruit, and you are now focused on the pleasure you can receive from this relationship, which all of that overshadows your proper action and excusing yourself from the relationship that is an unusual and unsuitable match, which you just found out, but it's too late. Becomes more difficult. Now, number four, most important points to select the best girlfriend is make sure that in selecting the most promising girlfriend, you're not blindsided by the genetic programmings of opportunity to hunt. This opportunity to hunt feature, which directs you to pursue, not because she's the right woman for you, but because you are programmed to try to establish contact and pursue any possibility which seems acceptable to you by meeting some of your desired standards. Look, there is a feature in us heterosexual male which is called ability to recognize opportunity to hunt. Because in the thousands and thousands of years ago, everything was scarce. You were conditioned to not lose an opportunity. If you're going hunting for something to eat, so if it's just there, it's an opportunity. If it's about to run away, it's an opportunity that is about to be lost. So for your survival, your whole fight and flight system gets to work, and you pursue and you try to. So all those important experiences still is in your consciousness, that it is important not to let an opportunity to escape you, opportunity to have more people in your group, to build homes, to build shelter, to help to fight over or fight against the attackers and all not, opportunity for security, opportunity for hunting. All these things were important not to lose those opportunities. That still runs into your genes. So when you see a woman that somehow doesn't pay attention to you, you suddenly triggers your opportunity to hunt is about to run away. And then you become more interested in a woman who actually doesn't pay attention to you, who has actually denied you access or has broken off with you. Like if you were already in a relationship and she doesn't want to be in a relationship with you, your feeling and instinct of opportunity is just about to run away, whether it was food at the time or it was intimacy 50,000 years ago or a million years ago was a different story. You still have those programming that triggers you, and you become more inclined to pursue and not let this connection to sever. So you become more interested in the girls who are not paying attention to you or they were your friend or smile, giving you a smile, but now they've denied that. Suddenly it triggers you. That's why many of you are so hung up on your exes, because there was an opportunity there. Now that she's not interested anymore, instead of respecting that, respecting her and her wishes and wishing her well, letting her go and respecting yourself, go and build another one, you think that you should pursue her and you should sob and be sad that you can't have her. That's because of that opportunity to hunt, which was opportunity to pursue, opportunity to build, opportunity to create, opportunity to better your life, which was the meaning of woman 50,000 years ago, possibly is about to run away. For that, you become sad, you try to do weird things, which you should understand. You should respect women a lot more than thinking of her as something to be hunted. You should understand that that was 50,000 years ago. You may still have the program in you, but doesn't mean you should actually be affected by it, and you should be able to control it and understand why you feel the way you do and avoid behaving that way. Respecting the woman and see if that is something mutual between you two, want to get together or not. Not that just because she's not interested, you should be now more interested. If you can understand that, then you will have an easier time when a woman is not interested in you, and you would respect that. And also when a woman breaks up with you, you will be able to manage it and go on with your life and wishing her well. Now, the fifth one, the last one in this discussion, the last most important point to consider when you're selecting your best girlfriend is often what you think is love is not love for her, but love for fulfilling your desire. Love for fulfilling your desire, and since your desire in this case is fulfilled with pleasure of intimacy with her, then you're actually in love with fulfilling your desire. So let's read that again. These are things that I write because I can't remember everything I want to say, so I quickly make a note. And now, let me read that again for you. Often what you think is love is not love for her, but love for fulfilling your desire. And since your desire in this case is fulfilled with pleasure of intimacy with her, then you are actually in love with fulfilling your desire for pleasure. And that becomes the driving force for your relentless interest in her, which is translated to you as love for the woman, when it is love for your desire to be fulfilled. But since this desire could be fulfilled through her, intimacy, sex, then you think it is her that you love, and oblivious to the fact that it is the desire you love to fulfill and not in love with her. If you can understand that, then you'll be fair to yourself, and you'll be fair and respectful to her, and you will not end up using a woman and thinking that you love her, and therefore you would protect her even from yourself. Because this is the whole idea, isn't it? This is what you're supposed to focus on. That loving a woman is to respect her, to protect her, and to protect her even from yourself, even from your own desires, even from your own misunderstandings. Therefore, you should always make sure that you have clear signals, you have clear communication for seeing if she's interested in you or not, and not ever make a mistake thinking that what you feel as an instinct to react to your programming, your genes, to pursue a woman as a heterosexual male, it can be interpreted as love for her. Not necessarily. To love a woman is first to know her, to appreciate her, to bond on consciousness level, see your advancements, maturities, and compatibilities, and in time, that intimacy or that infatuation that started your relationship, you can see if in time, having gotten to know each other's consciousness, if it will then be deserving something that you could call, we now love each other. Otherwise, at the outset, you cannot love anyone until you know that personality, that person. The rest of it is your instinctive reaction to what it is that your gender is programmed and requires. So, I hope this was something for you to note when you are going out there to search for the one that you're hoping to establish a relationship, and will help you to select a better girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, whatever, however your lifestyle is. I'll talk to you soon. Be good to yourself and to the others, and see you next time.